Hey guys, it's me, sharing my heart as I always do. I am still on cloud 1000 from a trip to Kenya a week ago today. It's been a week that I've been home, and I was the photographer for our team group for the trip, so I literally have over 1,000 pictures. And I also partnered with World Serve. Their photographer also gave me a lot of pictures and did pictures with my phone for me. So I have quite a bit of things that I need to go through. So I know I had promised that I would do a video to kind of detail everything that went on there in Kenya, my personal experience. And in the video that I did while I was in Kenya, I made mention that as much as we were there to serve the people, I have to say that where we in America look at the nation of Kenya as being impoverished, lacking a lot, not having bare necessities, literally not having clean water. When you're going through the streets of Kenya, there are animals just walking down the street, cows, see chickens everywhere, sheep. So you can only imagine that because they don't have a sanitation system, that feces are left out. There isn't a trash system there, so there are areas where trash is just piled. And I believe at certain periods that they come through and bulldoze it and move it. But in saying all of that, coming from, again, America, looking at that, and you would feel sorry for them, which is rightfully so, because of the things that we're afforded to have and obtain here in America seems so far away, not even tangible to certain areas there in Kenya. But when I tell you they are more wealthy in spirit and in heart than we could ever be. Everything that they have, they are so appreciative of it. Now, from my understanding from our missions team, that Africa in and of itself, the continent, is maybe 10% Christian, but in Kenya, it's about 80%, which is, if I'm not mistaken, if not the most impoverished country in Africa. If it isn't, it's close to it. It's in the top 5. But when I tell you their resilience and dependence on God was mind-blowing. We went to some slums in Kenya, to schools where the kids go to school. We went to an orphanage, and a lot of those places where we have the ability to go to the bathroom, toilet paper, can flush the toilet, wash our hands, and go on about our day. They literally have a hole in the ground, our house. And that's where you use the bathroom, no running water or anything like that. And some of the students for school, they walk hours to go to school. And because those that are in remote locations, they have to walk down, to wherever the nearest school is. And they are the happiest people. Whereas we're saying that they're poor, they don't know it. They don't know that they're lacking anything because they appreciate everything that they have. The littlest things that we take for granted, water. I mean, sometimes I'll not finish a bottle of water, and if it's sat for a long period of time or in my car, without any thought about it, I'll pour the water out. There was a village that we went to. It took us 4 hours to drive to this village. And we were working with World Serve. They provide water to remote locations, and they also dig what's called boreholes in various locations to where they can set up a system to where water is provided on a regular basis. But in some villages where that's not available, they actually take a big rig of water every 2 weeks for the villagers to get water. These women can walk up to 7 miles with these jugs, the huge jugs of water that they carry on their heads or on their backs, along with the children. If they have a child, they have a baby, they wrap them around them. I've saw a couple women to where they have the youngest baby on the front, baby on the back, and I think the one that I saw, she was carrying a jug. But I've heard that oftentimes they'll put them on their heads. 7 hours just to get fresh water. And the village that we went to right before we came there with World Serve, one of the villagers, she was saying that she was just praying because she had just ran out of her last jug of fresh water. And had World Serve not come that day, she would have had to walk. I think that's where we got the 7 miles from, because they view it in kilometers, but when we averaged it out, it was 7 miles to the nearest reservoir where water was available. Now keep in mind, these reservoirs, I know I'm not pronouncing this right, reservoirs, but where the water gathers, it's dependent on rain. And when I tell you it is so dry there in Africa, but in those times where those bodies of water are available, that water is used by the animals as well as the villagers to where they wash. They use it to prepare their food, all of this stuff. And I know we've all seen images like this on National Geographic or in movies. To be there and actually see and walk, I think we walked maybe half a mile from the rig to the nearest body of water location, but it had dried up. And just to see the resilience of the people there was life-changing. And again, going back to how we take for granted the very little things. And you know what? I'm not even going to say me. Because there may be some people out there that appreciate everything in life. And even with my mantra, being thankful, is what I really try to live by. Baby, it goes beyond that right now. Not necessarily from the point of that I'm thankful for what I have, but this trip has allowed me to put in perspective what I actually should be thankful for. Is it the things, the tangible things that can be lost or destroyed at any given point? Looking at the people that are suffering in the South from the tropical storms or hurricanes. Are those things the things that we should be thankful for? Whether or not I'm able to buy Christmas gifts for kids, family, is that what I should be thankful for? Is it because of whatever things that, and I know we all can come up with our own list of things that in times past, we can say, oh, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that. But really, what is important in life that we really should be thankful for? For me, is regardless if I have a home, I have a car, I have a job, I have food, I have water, I have clothes, shoes, way too much of that stuff. Those that really know me, I'm purging again to get rid of some stuff. But regardless of all of that stuff, what's most important is that I'm a child of God. That my name literally is written in the Lamb's Book of Life. Because at the end of the day, when I take my last breath, none of that's going to matter. What will matter, though, in that moment is that my name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life. And also, I'm going to be held accountable for what I did in this body, in this time that God has given me on the earth. While we were at World Serve, Pastor Lisa, who is our missions pastor, spoke to the staff at World Serve. And it really broke my heart because she came from the scripture about the talents and how each of us are given a talent. And we are going to be held accountable for what we do with our talents. And going back to this whole Kenya trip, that everything and every opportunity that they have, they use it. Whether it's the resources that they have, they share. They make sure that everybody's taken care of. We went to an orphanage. People are giving up everything just to help one another. Or whatever resources, they share it. So they have talents and they're not hoarding them just to benefit them, but they want to see everybody succeed. So at the end of the day, when I take my last breath, I don't want to have so much stuff in me that God looks at me and say, but where is the thing that I gave you to do to impact the earth and to impact the lives of others? What is that return on that gift that I put in you? I was like, okay, bet. It was a wake-up call. So I'm going to work on a video, but like I said, I have over 1,000 photos. So I'm going to try to at least show some different things, perspectives, bit by bit, because me trying to do it all together at once, that's going to take forever. So I don't want to belabor trying to do all of it at once. I want to do bits and pieces of it and start to share on Monday, probably day 1 and then day 2, so on each day that I was there. But I do want to encourage us to not take for granted the gifts that God has given us. They're not to hoard. They're not to just do what it is for me, myself, and I, and my family, and nobody else. There's a world that needs us to show up and be the people of God that we're supposed to be, that God has called us to be. Not ashamedly being that, not allowing society or anything to have us to shy or step back from the things that God has called us to do and called us to be. We are representation of Him in the earth. We are supposed to be written epistles read by men. When they look at us, what do they see? Do they see our political affiliation? Do they see a church? Do they see our marital status? Do they see our bank account? Or do they see the representation of the Father in us? So, yeah, y'all. This was an awesome experience. So, come with me on this journey. I will start doing bits and pieces on Monday and then going from there. So I hope you guys have a blessed and awesome day. I'm about to start my day in Kenya. The day would be just about over with. So I think I'm okay with my time changes now. My body has adjusted. It's been a week so. But yeah, I'll be sharing more. So you guys have a blessed day on purpose. Love you guys.